Hey lovelies, it's Kate. Welcome back to another speed build. Thank you so much for tuning in. In this speed build, I'm building a dollhouse. Recently, dollhouses have literally taken over the Sims community. Everyone is kind of obsessed with dollhouses in The Sims 4. And after seeing all these amazing dollhouses, I just had to build one myself. At first, I wasn't really sure because this is not really your typical house. It's not really that functional because it literally has no walls in the front. It's open, it's a dollhouse, but I just thought it would be so much fun to build this. I felt very inspired when I saw these cute dollhouses. A lot of Simmers build complete dollhouses, others decided to just build one room, and it's just the coolest thing ever. Apparently this trend started on Tumblr and then it kind of took over the Sims community, so I just kind of felt like building one myself. Also, I had planned to build something that's very pink for a long while, but somehow it kind of never happened. One of these ideas where you just have no idea how to really do that and for which build and all that, and finally this is the right build in my opinion to use a lot of pink. I think it looks so cute. So I was going for a complete dollhouse. I really wanted to include a living room, a kitchen, dining room, multiple bedrooms, but it's all completely open, so even the bathroom, because otherwise it wouldn't be a dollhouse. And I kind of tried to include everything, and as I said, I used a lot of pink, and at first I couldn't really decide which type of pink. A pink that is kind of more like a hot pink or more some type of pastel pink, and then I eventually used these windows that are part of Get Famous and just combine lots of different things and pink colors, as you will see. So I used a foundation at the bottom, and then I just deleted a section because I felt like it would look cool to have some type of split level situation going on. I also included some stairs, so it's still kind of functional and it also looks realistic. And I included a little attic space where I'm going to place 2 beds. So this is kind of like the kids' room area. I've always wanted to build Barbie's dream house, but again, it was like something that was on my list, but it still hasn't happened. And this kind of reminds me of a Barbie's dream house. I still didn't want to label it as Barbie's dream house because this is just a doll house, and I feel like this is like not a legit Barbie's dream house, you know. This is like something that I just came up with, and I think I don't want to offend any Barbie fans out there. So it's just a doll house. And I had so much fun building this because this is something that's very different. I also didn't use any terrain because it wouldn't make sense. I didn't add any garden or something. This is why I included the fence in the front where I'm going to place some flowers, just so there is some type of front yard situation going on, just like you see in many dollhouses. It belongs to the dollhouse, but like it's not a proper garden. There's nothing in the back. I really just wanted to have this cute dollhouse and nothing around it. And at first I started building on a 40 by 30 lot, and then I kind of realized that this lot is way too big. So I'm going to move this to the lot that is next to this lot, and this lot is going to be 30 by 20, so much smaller. There's still a lot of space around it, but I felt like that this would be a suitable lot size. And here I'm working on the kitchen. For the kitchen I used base game counters that are pastel pink, and I just sorted by color. I sorted by pink, and then I just saw what would look good. And I just went crazy with the pink, basically. I didn't really want to use any other colors. I just used some white because just a pretty typical color, I guess, for this type of build, like a combination of pink and white. The kitchen looks quite modern, and I kind of combined a lot of rustic looking objects with a lot of kind of plastic looking modern objects once again to create this kind of look. I also used this short little fence on the right side, as you can see, and I used it also at the top. The reason for this was I wanted to use objects that kind of make it look like plastic and kind of artificial. This is why I used lots of different things on the outside. Also, once again, the little cube that came with Get Famous, just so I could just create the illusion of it just being fake and plastic and not a house in The Sims, but I just wanted to create some type of toy look basically, and I also used some curtains. At this point, I really just tried to make it cute. I'm going to change a couple of things later because I didn't really like how the kitchen looks at this point, and I also think that there's something lacking in the living room at this point, so I'm going to go back later and going to change that up, as you will see. And these are the flowers that I mentioned earlier, and here is the cube. I just wanted to have kind of a edge, like some type of plastic edge, basically, just so it looks more fake, more like a plastic kind of dollhouse. And at first I was really not sure what I would like to do to the foundation, because I think it just doesn't look like any type of dollhouse, like any type of toy, but I'm going to work on that later as well. And then I decided to switch up the floor because I felt like I wanted to have some type of warmth in this, some type of little contrast, because it's all white and pink, as I said, so a little bit of wood would be a good idea, I thought. When I saw this trend, I just instantly fell in love with this, because I used to love dollhouses as a kid so much. I enjoyed to play with lots of different toys, Barbies, Polly Pocket. I had these cute little plastic dinosaurs, just anything really. But I really, really loved my dollhouse and Polly Pocket. I think Polly Pocket was maybe even my absolute favorite. But I really loved my dollhouse. And the cool thing about this dollhouse was that my grandpa built it for my mother when she was a little girl. He built it himself and gave it to her for Christmas. And it was just the coolest thing ever. It didn't look like a typical dollhouse like this one. This looks really fake and plastic and really like a toy. He used wood and fabric and just lots of different things to build it, and it looked very realistic and natural. It really looked like a real proper house. It looked so realistic, and the amount of detail was just insane. He even added cute little light switches to every single room, and he added electricity so you could see the small cables, and they worked. You could use the little light switches and turn the light on, and you could open the little windows, and he built it all by himself, and the amount of detail was just the coolest thing ever. And it had my mom's name on the side in huge red wooden letters. It was just the coolest thing ever. So for me, dollhouses are a cool, fun childhood memory for a lot of people probably, so I thought it would be fun to kind of build this, and I hope that you guys enjoy how it turned out. Definitely very different from anything that you usually see in The Sims. I added a little patio at the top at first. I'm going to change that up though. I kind of wanted to include some type of outside area, just like you see in a lot of dollhouses, so the dolls, or Sims in this case, can just kind of sit on the outside. Technically it's all the outside, we don't have any walls of privacy here, but it just kind of emulates sitting on the outside on a balcony, so I thought that this would be kind of fun. Also, you may have wondered why it took so long for me to release another video. Well, I worked on another build, but this video will be released on April 11th. I built this for a collab, and I already uploaded this build to the gallery, so the cat is kind of out of the bag and it's not really a secret anymore. I built Game of Thrones Winterfell. It's a unfurnished shell, and I built it for a collab, as I said, and you can see how I built it on April 11th, and I'm just so excited for you guys to see. And it really took a while because it was just a lot of work and also really tricky. I'm not really used to recreating something. I just build something, and even when I take inspiration, I really just take inspiration, then I build something, and it just kind of develops in a way. But building something by reference and really making it look legit isn't that easy in my opinion, but I think it turned out quite well, and you guys will see soon what I was up to. But enough about Winterfell. So excited for the new season of Game of Thrones, but back to the dollhouse. So I actually tested if your Sims would be able to survive in this house during winter when it's cold and snowing, and the answer is no. They are going to freeze to death, unfortunately. I tried it and it's not really working. I mean, I added a fireplace, as you just saw, and I also added the thermostat, but for some reason I mean, not for some reason, it's kind of obvious, but they froze to death. But then sometimes when they were sitting close to the fireplace, for example, it was kind of alright. So I'm not really sure. It might be a 50-50 thing. I don't know, but it's not really a build that you would actually play in. This is just a fun little house. I mean, if you don't really play with seasons, you could probably totally use this, or if you kind of disable the seasons. And in this case, I would advise to kind of really close the bathroom so your Sims can use the bathroom in peace. But it's still kind of a really fun, weird open build. And now I'm working on the bedroom area. I also included a little office space, or whatever you like to call it. I thought that this little nook would just be perfect for a bed. And I used this wallpaper all over the house. The only exception really is the bathroom. And I used these cute little kids' room pictures on the walls because I felt like the whole build kind of has a kids' room kind of toy appeal. So I did not want to make the interior too grown up or too serious. I really just want to have some fun with it and just make it look crazy, and added these lights on the walls that have the shape of a flower. I'm not even really sure to which pack they belong. Parenthood, maybe, not too sure. And this is the bathroom. Of course, it's open. It's a dollhouse. I used the mirror that is part of Get Famous. It's pink and cute. And as I said, I sorted by color a lot. I only found this out a while ago. I mentioned this before. I saw this in a SimArky stream. SimArky is just the best. And I saw in her stream that she was sorting by color. I had no idea that this was possible before. And ever since, I really enjoyed doing that. And even if you want to put something that's quite neutral in color, lots of browns, whites, grays, and all that, it's really good to sort by color, and you kind of really explore new things, and especially new carpet swatches, like for the rocks. I really explored some new swatches that I kind of forgot about or never saw, I don't know. And this at the top is the kids' room area. I just wanted to include some kids' rooms, so it's really a proper family home, a weird open dollhouse family home, but I thought that it would just be cool to really include some kids' rooms here, and they kind of have their own floor, so it's all still kind of separated in a way. I also just placed some walls in between so I could still kind of section off different areas, so it does look like a room, just like in Dollhouse, so it still does look like a room somehow, even though it's not. Also added a fireplace there, and I just added some different small things and plants, just so kind of to decorate it and add some clutter, and these rocks and just different things. And decorating and furnishing this was kind of weird because, as I said, I really wanted this to look like a dollhouse, and when I was adding kind of too much, I felt like it looked more like a proper Sims house somehow. And I also decided to add a chimney. And at this point, I just added some more stuff to the outside to make it look more like a dollhouse, or to give it more details, because you guys know that I really love to add lots of details to the exterior. So at this point, I was kind of trying to figure out what might work, and this is what I'm doing here at this point. These are part of StrangerVille, and I can really recommend building a dollhouse. If you haven't done that yet, it's just so much fun, really. It just kind of brings back childhood memories, and it's just like something really different, and I really enjoy that, and I really hope that you enjoyed this build. And let me know in the comments down below, what were your favorite toys as a kid? Did you play with a dollhouse or something else? What were your favorite toys? Just leave a comment down below, because I feel like we kind of sometimes forget about these things when we get older, but these are just some of the most precious memories, because I think the cool thing about toys is that you kind of created your own stories and you had just so much fun. It's not about the materialistic part about this, like kids wanting toys and having new stuff and all that. I think the cool thing about these memories is that you really just created your own stories and had so much fun and such a good time. It's just amazing. And for me, this brought back some memories, definitely something that I haven't thought about in a long time. And here I'm just adding more details to the kitchen. As I said earlier, there was definitely something lacking. I didn't like the kitchen layout, so I added more island counters, and I also added a computer down there, changed the rug, and just added more stuff down there so it would look good. As you saw before, I added the fireplace and a TV to the living room because it was just too empty, so I was kind of jumping back and forth. At first I worked on the actual shape and the exterior, then I did the interior, then I went back to the exterior and so on, and now I'm just adding some last little details to make it look cute. And as I said, I didn't do anything on the outside because this is just a dollhouse. And here I'm once again adding more details, and for some reason this kind of reminds me of a cake at this point with some cream on top. I don't know why, that's kind of weird, but sometimes you guys just kind of tell me that something like my builds remind you of cakes and weird things, and in this case I totally get it. It kind of really reminds me of a cake in this case, like the top section at the roof. So weird. Now I want some cake, please. This would be amazing. And this is almost it, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. This was something different for once. I'm still going to upload this lot to the gallery, of course. Not really a functional build, but maybe you just want to have some fun with it or take a look. So it's up in the gallery, just like all my builds are. I'm going to include all the information down below, including all the packs that I used. And I really hope that you had fun, and I hope that you will have an amazing week, and I hope I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.